Welcome to a wet, windy weekday in week 7. Wow! Is that alliteration? Or alliteration? I'm not an English teacher, so somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. Here we are, week 7. The week after the rubbish runs. Feeling much more like my usual self this week, which is good. I just want to start off by saying thanks to those that are returning to watch these videos. It really means a lot, and I hope you're all enjoying them and hopefully getting something out of it. For the people that are watching that have never watched before, I hope you enjoy it and get something out of it. Like and subscribe hopefully as well, because this is a marathon training video diary for London Marathon 2025. It's a 16-week plan, and we bring the highs and lows and see where we get. This week, when I was up at my club doing a run on Tuesday, I had a really good run with Chris. Opened the legs, stretched them out, run a bit quicker, which was nice. But while I was out running, I got talking to some of the club runners. They were asking me some questions, how I'm getting on, what am I finding hard. So I thought I'd throw it out there and post it on the club Facebook page. Roscoe Pass first. And I got a few questions asked, so in this video I'm going to try and get through some of those, answer the questions, offer any advice that I can. But with regards to the week, it's been a bit change again because of work and other stuff. So I've missed one short run this week, which is why I'm out today. It's 7 mile today. Rather than doing a loop like I normally would do, I'm just going to do an out and back towards Methley, so we get to see a bit of the country and the geese and a bit of river. And just makes a change doing out and back as well. So I'll enjoy a bit of the scenery, and then I'll come back with some of the questions. Thank you, whoever that was. Yeah, we'll come back with the questions and hopefully I'll have some answers. Catch you in a bit. So, here we are with me, Jonathan Dimbleby. Now, Rob, from Rob Runs. It's question time though. I'm going to try and slow down a little bit so I can talk for a start, which is good. But also, I need to read the questions that were asked. You may have noticed that I've decoated, if that's even a word. But what was a wet and windy weekday in week 7 is now just a windy weekday in week 7, but quite a warm one, quite mild. My coat was like a bag, so I was just getting a bit too warm. And yes, for those that say I've still got my hat on, madness, I know. So anyway, here we go, question time. First question came from Rich Lord of Rich Lord Travels Vlog. Rich Lord Vlog. Rich Lord, the machine, the author of multiple books. So he should really know this himself, because he's done lots of marathons. Although I suppose he's just helping me by getting the first question out there. So, Rich asked, how do you manage balancing running so often in a weekday and then long runs when we've got family, work, commitments and life? And I think we mentioned this before, well, I know I've mentioned this before. It can be quite difficult, and yes, we're working to a plan, but sometimes I think you've got to be a little bit fluid with that plan, because things change. Like this week, the plan to do is, you know, 3 runs, midweek runs, and I had to go down to Hove for work. Kids have been at home because it's half term, so I just had to make the best of it, really. Get out when I can, like now. Try and incorporate it with a club run if I can. And just, as long as you're kind of happy with your mileage and your paces, and you're somewhere like, and you're comfortable. Listen, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can make up for it other times. Another example of that is this weekend. The plan says I should be reducing the distance this week on the long run. But I'm actually doing a couple more miles than it says. So actually for the weekly miles, I'm about right. Saturday is another kind of prime example of fitting it all in. I've got football Saturday morning. I'm now doing a long run on Saturday, because I'm working on Sunday. And then I've got the rugby in the evening, so yes, it's a challenge. The second question, bear with me a second. Here we go again. Now, the second question comes from Liz May, another one of the club runners, and she's asked about rest weeks. Now, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, should you take rest weeks during training for a marathon? I've not really heard of this before now, so I did have to have a bit of a look, a bit Dr. Google, and apparently it's a thing. Now, when I've done my training before, I've had rest days, and that's worked fine. But after reading about the rest weeks, and so long as they're not self-imposed like I was the other week where I was ill, it actually sounds like it's a good thing, and for good reason, and I'll try and explain a little bit. What they're saying and what they're suggesting is you should maybe take them kind of every 3 or 4 weeks, and even though it says a rest week, it's not complete rest. It can be up to as much as 70% reduction in mileage and in training time. And the benefits of doing that, apparently, are it reduces the risk of injuries and the impact to your bones, muscle tears, things like that. Because again, what I didn't realise, it's quite interesting, when you're about 3 weeks in, and I said actually on one of the other videos, your body's probably getting used to it now, and they're kind of constant. But actually, your muscles start to become slightly weaker, and as such, that can have an impact on your bones. And actually, they can become slightly weaker. So the merits of reducing kind of every 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, allows your body to kind of get repaired. So yeah, good one, Liz. Thanks. Next question comes from Suzanne, also another club runner. She's asked, how do I deal with procrastination before long runs? And again, this is a busy road. I had to Google what procrastination meant. I had an idea, but I was putting it off, looking up for it. Procrastination is putting things off. But yeah, going back to your question, Suzanne, how do I stop procrastinating about long runs? I think I tend to just zone out a little bit and not think about it too much, because it's got to be done. And it's got to be done because I've got an end goal. I know what that end goal is. I know where I need to get to that end goal. And unfortunately, long runs are part of it. Don't get me wrong, some days when I'm sitting at the edge of my bed, getting my training gear on, I can be a little bit, but ultimately once I'm out on it, then I'm fine. And actually I do quite enjoy it, especially when I've got a bit of company. As you saw from last week, it can be a little bit challenging mentally when you're running on your own for that sort of distance. So yeah, thank you, Suzanne. Hope that answers that for you. Also, Suzanne asked about fueling for long runs. And I guess it's similar to kind of on the day really when it comes to marathon. It's kind of about preparing. And for the long runs I tend to carb a little bit the night before, and then depending on the time of the day that I'm going out for the run, kind of defines what I'm going to eat and drink. If it's on the morning, I tend to have Greek yogurt, blueberries and some water, and then electrolytes while I'm out on the run if needed. If it's later in the day, then yeah, just kind of a few carbs. But also when I come back from these runs, you need a few carbs again, and you need some protein within 30 minutes, just to help your body get back in shape a little bit. And also, what I have been trialling this time round is creatine. There's lots of reasons for that, because it's a naturally occurring product, only in small amounts, and it helps the muscles with fatigue, it helps with impact, power, so you're kind of not as reliant and not getting as tired, so it's good to replenish that as well. A lot of sprinters use it, but now it's becoming, reading into it, becoming a bit more of a thing for distance running as well. So yeah, maybe try that. The next question comes from Claire. I think it was. Apologies if I've got that wrong. He asked about 5k runs. How do we prepare for those? Now, I've not done a 5k run for a little bit, because this is going to be a really silly thing to say. I can't get home and be bothered to do a 5k at park runs on a Saturday morning. and actually it's generally when I have football, so I've not done many 5Ks recently. However, preparation for them can be a little bit like preparation for a long run. You've got to make sure the night before you have plenty to drink. Again, bananas and things like that in the morning or whatever. Pasta. You need to build up your glycerol, because that's going to get taken away pretty much on your 5K runs because of the kind of bursts, if you like, of energy. Running over the canal now, or river. And again, yeah, sorry. Bananas, seeds, little snack bars, all things like that to give you a bit of a quick burst of energy. Because actually your body really can do a 5K without much assistance. And if you're kind of starting off or going back to running, it might seem a challenge at first, but it won't take you long. It won't take you long to get over that. Body's an amazing thing. Last question from somebody called Pamela Anderson. Why does my running look like it should be on a beach in Malibu? Well, I think that might be a joke question. Thank you. Would be nice to be running a beach in Malibu at the moment though, rather than a wet, or not so wet now, but definitely windy weekday in week 7. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Agera Beats.